Oh. But that's the other shot. Alright. Hello, stream stuff. I did some work last night, but it was mainly like finalizing stuff because I needed to start rendering. So I completely went through shot 1, did all the cleanup so I could do a final render on it. So, but there's some of these ones that I still have to go through to make sure that everything's right so that I can actually do a complete final render on it, because I want to try to start another one tonight and I don't have one that I would say I'm fully ready for it. So we're going to do a review and see if there's anything we can do touch up on. So I got this open, yeah. So this isn't the render. I have to open a separate file to do that. But these ones I basically said were completely done. I did re-render this little bit at the beginning here because I want to do something, or the bolt was changed. So everything I'm from before here I'm considering is done. So I just have to now make sure that there's anything on these shots that could potentially be upgraded, and it's not counting coloration or any of that crap. I'm only looking at stuff in the video itself. I think for the most part these parts are good. Do I have an eye light for her there? Oh yeah, I did remember there is something wrong with this shot I needed to fix. I do not, so I could technically add an eye light to her here so she has a better eye glow. Surprised they don't. I would have thought that I would have put one on there. We can do that. Most part it's pretty good on the inside, but I want to get something on the outside here. But no, I found that there's a clipping with her neck when she falls here, right here. So it's gonna be. This reminds me of that meme where the guy that's like hunched over because he had a heart attack. It's just like, oh no, it's probably armor. What is it? Oh, there we go. This. Oh, I gotta move it. Shoulder out. Make this work. Poor pony. I think I did something wrong with your leg. Oh, and that kind of looked a little weird there. That's fine. She does have high cholesterol. She looks like she's crying dirt too. Okay, so from normally how to fix clipping is just find the beginning point, so right here, the end point right here. So now we know where my ends are, and then to find the extreme point, which is probably right about here maybe. And it looks like it happens quick, so we'll do a quick change, and then it goes away at a pretty standard rate. So we'll just do that. And now it's just readjust things to make whatever it is that's causing this to be a problem work. I mean, I could move her head back, but then that would probably get rid of the forward motion. I think that just looks weird when I think about it. Yeah, a little bit. So we will not do that, which means the second bit is to fix your armor. Which is going to be... this is the metal portion. Is that going to be what I need? Yes. Now this might be a bit much. Oh, I gotta go to the side with it. That might be too much too. Did I have... I didn't move her arm right back. I should probably do that. The hoof is broken. Doesn't matter. Alright, so her leg is clipping a little bit here. Oh, it wasn't clipping here, so it must have been when I just was goofing. Well, actually... Nope, that's before and after. What I can do instead... I should probably fix the leg, but I can potentially do a different fix too. Okay, so let's see, like, no, that's too close again. I'm not really caring about the broken hoof because it's not going to matter. So I can probably fix it pretty easy if it's just the... Because it looks like it's the position that's broken. Yeah, no, it's not broken. Alright, so again, clips. So we're going to go from here to here. And I just have to have this, during this period, have the armor pulled out more again. And that should be fixed too. Probably work out better that way anyway. Okay. Do a little bit later on this. Still a little bit on this area. Right there. I just want to make sure the armor is not going to look like it's wobbling all over the place. That's the important thing. So I can have it drag into this a little bit slower so that it doesn't seem like such a drastic motion. Alright, no clipping. Is there any other... oh yeah, I was going to add an eye light here. Need to make her pretty. We're shining a bright fucking light in her eye. It's beauty. It's just the camera. What's the difference? Not seeing any. Oh, I think one of them is with the stuff turned off or unlocked. Can I change this camera at all to make this work better? Can I put this camera any higher? I think I can. I want to see what it looked like to have the camera come from a higher angle. Okay. It's a little bit awkward having it like that with like Redditor hoof. So do mid body instead. And tripping doesn't look so good if zoomed in, so I might not be able to utilize that. Because I guess I could try to put it lower instead. Nah, I think I'll just keep it as it is. So, yeah, I say that and then I start playing with it more. I just feel there's always ways to improve camera, and I just want to feel utilize as much as I can. This implies going uphill, which makes no sense for what the shot that just happened, so let's leave it as it was. Highlights. I wasn't using that anymore, right? No. Did I already do that? Yeah, that does help with the eye a lot. I don't know if I'm going to need anything with the other eye. Alright, now to see if I can ensure that everything moves correctly. Alright, all these movements stay with the eye fine. Even up to closing it does, technically. Oh, she's looking down, so it really can't go up. That's fine. Did you notice that? Oh yeah, there's eyebrows. Yes. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so we must find it by shining giant fucking lights in their eyes. It's the only way. I'm wondering if I should just leave the eyes like that. Here, not so much, because you can actually see the light go up there. I don't want that. So this is the peak. And I'll go... Actually, once it hits the peak, it has to go down. I'm probably just going to keep it down then, up until the end. That'll work. Otherwise, she looks pretty good. I'm surprised, actually. I thought that was going to take 3 times longer. But the light definitely helps. It might be a little too bright right here. Yeah, it's actually bleeding a little bit. Actually, is her hair blocking a lot? Not really. I think her hair is just darker and it throws it into a higher contrast. I'm gonna call it good. The other eye I'm not gonna bother with because it's got a lot of light on it, so it is fine. So in general, I don't think... And her ear is animated here, right? Yeah. I don't think this shot needs anything else. Yeah, I think that might be good. Okay, I think this one does have highlights, so we're good on that regard. Though I think this one could be a little brighter. So those are the ones where I have to move it this way to move it back. Because it just doesn't stay where I put it. Okay, that did help a little bit. Actually, that one really looks good with how the hair is positioned too. Okay, there's really not much I can do with that shot. And I should be checking this from this, because this is the actual render. So, I need to shrink that down. It's not a top quality. Alright. Could drift a little more. So its rotation, not its position, because it's like it turns down here, but then it kind of hits that peak right there and stops. I have a feeling it's just this one that does that. If I can. I thought I tried this before. Actually, I don't know if I did or not, and I want to keep it that way. Okay, when it hits this point, still feel kind of like a drastic cut. Right here. Just right here. What is happening right here? Everything. I think it's this camera starts turning. Nope. So it is this one. Yep, that fixed it. Well, wait, maybe. No, I just spread it out to the further back point. Yeah, that's fine. So just a jerk motion there I want to try to get rid of. But I'm wondering if that's just... It's like right around here. No, it's probably that right there. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it as that. I can see how it looks after render again and see if it... I might just mark it down as something to fix in post. Oh yeah, check this one. Alright, does she have highlights here? No, so I can probably add one to that shot. Does he have highlights? He has to have, yeah, he has highlights. Should I add some kind of a fabric blowing in the wind here? Because so that it just gives it a little bit more life. Also, is this really matching up with the look from this shot from here? So from 35 to 31. Yeah, actually it does. Okay. I thought it maybe it didn't. Hello, Wilson. How are you doing? I have a lot of lights. Everything got weird. Oh, because I know I will find her. This camera, so she's up here. Peekaboo. I see you. This one should be super easy.
She was alone in the bathroom, eyes fixed like a statue.
So I don't really think her eyes move much.
She just waiting for more bad news. Now she's white like a full moon, and she can't bear what the tests prove. At a crossroads, need a rescue. 'Cause what you gonna do? Hold on.
Is that too bright? Or too big?
She's waiting between worlds. Wish she could tell him, hold on.
So deep, but I'm holding on so deep.
You know, just
Looking at the pale sunrise.
take her mouth and add a little bit of teeth at the end here because it's looking a little weird just how it stays open. Look at that.
And how many years can he cram for his fate gives way and he's ash in the sand? And is it the last stop on the road or the next step in the path grand and unknown? A milestone formed from the fruits of his ways. Okay, and what comes with the end of his days? But the sun's rays shine on a face so divine. An angel of mine goes the phrase in his mind. Wise to the signs, knowing soon is the time. But he isn't ready to say goodbye. Hold on. He's waiting between worlds. Wish she could tell him, hold on. I'm waiting between worlds. 4 a.m. when she woke to the sound. Walked to the door in a bedtime gown. Policeman said that his son's been found. He was shot in the head near a club downtown. And the terror in her heart was profound. Her legs broke down, she collapsed to the ground. As the walls were spinning all around, he said, man, please you need to come right now. So she's sitting down, dazed in a cop car, swerving through lanes in a maze where the crazed are. And locked in a haze from the shock, thoughts frayed as they stop with her stomach in knots. Lord, please in the nightmare. All the words in her mind as they raced inside. Lord, please in the nightmare. In the hospital ward in the eye of the storm. Miss, I regret to say, there's not much hope I can give today. much of his brain away. We've done all we can, but his state is grave. Best case here is to live on machines with a vegetable quality of life foreseen. Or instead we can pull out.
Oh yeah, there's one other thing I wanted to do in this shot for sure. The dragons at the end seem very plain. Like they don't really seem like they have much life to them. Just 'cause they actually are just actually probably the better shot is just do it from here.
And all signs lead no way decide. They say all things never truly die, but change in existence and switch design. Like a drain to an ocean in which we're blind. We remain set in motion from worlds combined. So if I had one thought that would last and hold, amass and fold over as the fast it grows. Infusing a life like a fabric zone. Class the vast field once existence flows. I'd say settle down if you please let go. This world's nothing more than a magic show. For tragic at times and encased in woe. It all works out, but this truth I know.
Okay, so what point can I start seeing dragons? Right here. So nothing before this point really matters right now. So I'm gonna have it so that they have their heads turned a little bit. Or at least that some of them do. I'm gonna have one of them going just a little bit faster. I don't need him actually moving faster, just having his animation go faster. That's unless... Did I have their route animated? Yes, I did. So if I do make them faster, I have to make them actually faster. That's kind of fine, because... No, I don't. Oh, no, I don't. Sweet. It's all on the route. Or it's all separated. Sweet. Alright, good. That's the one I just gave the head motion to, so I don't want to do that one. I wonder if I should add a third one. No, because if I had a third one, that seems like there's way too many, and that I should have been seeing more elsewhere. The song before that was... I cannot remember it. Name of the band's on it. Zach Hemsey. It's Waiting Between Worlds. There. He usually does some of the epic music stuff. It actually has a full music video for it too, but he made that, and it was I really like that song, and the video is actually really good with it too. So everything I believe for the rotation is done on the route. Oh no, they're locked to a central pivot point. And then that's how it does it. Okay, yeah. That actually makes it harder. I was going to have a speed up for whenever they flap their wings, but technically... technically I can. Just unlock them. And then that will just give me the animation. Alright. So he flaps his wings here. So for the time that he goes down, and a little bit afterwards, to the next one, then he should. We're gonna go, bam. Okay, same thing for this guy. I think also if I add a little rotation to the tail to go with their turn, might help too. If I was speeding up, I want to make sure it's legitimate. I think one of them kind of looks like they're jerking. I could tell really quickly if there's any jerk motion going on. That makes sense. And maybe a little bit. Smooth out while they're locked. That should tell me whether or not there's a problem. Or at least it should get rid of most of it. Yep. Pretty sure it's sorry, I'm just actually is there something before that? No, that's a question for the music. Strategy for staying motivated. Players such as this, considering how much running. I stray all the time. It's when I started this, I've made a video since then, I think. But usually it's just make small stuff. I mean, you gotta take a break sometimes. Or just leave it and come back to it later. But I think probably the biggest thing is don't burn out. Like, you can push yourself to a limit to where suddenly you just don't feel like you don't really want to work on things anymore. So if you don't feel like working on something and you want to do something else. Forcing yourself to work on something, you're going to give yourself a half-assed product, and it's going to show that you half-assed it. So it's better to just wait till you have the motivation, and if you can never find it, then play around and see if you can find out what was giving you motivation to begin with. Like, I like learning new things, so sometimes I have to go and just play around with stuff. Deadlines are my biggest motivator right now, though, so that's why I have things I need to do, so I'm just gonna work on it the best I can. I think this one might be done now. Oh, you know what? I think the other reason I don't like this is that the sky itself looks meh, because I had to use a sky dome, but there is literally no way for me to improve the quality of it. No, not really. I might just have to leave it as is, because I can't remove the sky dome, and if I put another thing in the way of it, you're going to see that I went and did that. So I'm just going to have to leave it. Whatever. I don't think there's going to be much I can do in this shot. I think this is good. Coffee helps, but coffee is... if you're trying to be creative, I don't think coffee is a good idea, actually. I'm usually the most efficient when I'm not drinking coffee, and I instead actually just get sleep. But the problem is trying to get 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night is not exactly the easiest thing. So, because I did it where I cut out coffee for like a couple weeks, and during that time instead, I got like 8 or 9 hours of sleep. I forced myself to, and I felt more awake than I'd ever been with coffee. After it took about a week, but then I was super awake, and I actually had my brain working better for doing this kind of stuff. Coffee is good for keeping your brain awake. Well, not even that. It keeps it alert, I guess. But you're not able to think as clearly, I think. So I'm not, when I'm trying to actually think through something, like the creative parts of this, or like what scenes to do and when, I usually do it on the weekend, because on the weekend it's not later in the day. I can think in the afternoon when my brain's more awake. And that's about as much doing it. This stuff here, I'm just thinking it out. So I guess that works for me anyway. Yeah, it's no, I like tea too. Yeah, it's just work on it's. If it's not your job, what's forcing you to do it? So just take your time with it, because it also, if you force yourself to work on something, you're going to burn out and you're going to start to dislike it, because forcing yourself to do something isn't fun anymore. You're making it a job, and especially if it's a job you're not being paid to do, you're going to burn out and you're going to hate it. So don't. Just if you don't feel like working on something but you really wish that you could, go for a walk, go watch a show, read a book. That's usually what I do. Like after the stream, I actually go and watch like Netflix for a bit, or I read, and then usually I have my brain reset enough to where I can get back to working on it. Otherwise, after a stream, I just want to kind of nap or something. Yeah, you know what? I can't touch this shot. Anything I would do with it would just be to destroy it. This is still probably one of my favorite shots. just that I don't even care about the pony. I just love this scene build, how everything turned out with it just was amazing. I'm so happy with how that one turned out. Okay, so I don't need these anymore, so this will help. Well, if you give up on it, you never learn whether or not you can actually be good with it. And don't give me that crap of all I made was bad stuff. And all that stuff takes time. Best things in life take you're not going to get instantly. And if you did, you probably aren't going to enjoy it as much. Okay, let's make sure that everything is locked there. That sounds good. Alright, I want to make sure that this head, how she comes in here, actually works.
To protect the one. To protect the ones I cherish.
I wonder if I should turn on the motion blur there.
Protect the ones I cherish.
Not by much, just a little bit. Okay, let's turn down a little bit. I will be going through and doing the fixes for like here. There's always that first frame that everything's adjusting and motion blur doesn't kick in. I had to go through and render those again. So usually it's about 4 frames. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it looks fine. This one I did need to fix the trees in the background right here because you can actually tell that they're not attached. If I actually move them down and to the left a little bit, I should be able to hide the fact that they're being stupid. Try that. So does that mountain look right how it's moving here? Yeah, I think SFM's a great training tool, especially when you're just looking at the concepts of it, because really the stuff that you would utilize for the concepts, I mean, it's not like a lot of the other softwares in terms of animating are going to have anything more. A lot of what SFM lacks is terms of quality in your renders. So you're not going to have as realistic. That's really creepy. You're not going to have a lot of your realistic lighting, and you might not have some of your like fluid physics, like or soft body physics, I guess, to have that really feel fleshy and bouncy. But again, a lot of that's the engines that are calculating and doing all that for you. So when it comes to just the straight animating part, this is going to teach you just fine. And it's free, which helps. But usually for school, you could probably get some kind of deal. So how bright is her eye here?
To protect the ones I cherish, I've gotta be stronger.
Is there anything I need to do here?
The ones I cherish, I've gotta be stronger. I've gotta be stronger. I've gotta be stronger.
It's really hard when I don't have the actual trees in the background to work with. I want to check one thing with this though. This one I'm pretty happy with. I don't think I'm going to be able to change too much in there. Other than like add rocks and stuff, but even then it's a football field. I don't want to have a bunch of rocks on the ground. I already have one over here. Alright, so I have right now the camera going forward and only forward. But if I have it going forward and down while slightly looking out. That'd be too much. Because what it feels like to me in terms of speed, like here it feels like everything's going pretty slow, or the camera's moving slow, but then here it feels like it's moving fast. I'm thinking because it's stuttering, it just gives that feel. Yeah, that gets a little bit better. I'm guessing camera tilt's just going to be stupid. Nope. See, I think that that puts too much of a focus on one area. When it's just panning, or just moving with it, it makes it feel like somebody that's interacting with and playing on an even playing field. But when you start going up and down, you start bringing yourself to a focused point on like the ground or something. So like this makes it feel like everything is in play, but if I go down here and I look up, it makes it feel like I'm like everything's focusing towards this area, and that's, I don't like that. I think I might just leave it as is. But I really don't think there's anything more I can do in this shot. I think those are good. And I think these ones are also pretty good. Hold on, I thought oh, that's the render. I was like, I thought I fixed you. Well, yeah, I did. That's, your hair is behaving now. And then his... Oh, I did want to play with something on him. His eyes here have a slight blue hint to the front, which is kind of neat. But after it goes to this, they're gone. And I feel like he probably needs a little bit more light in his face, if anything, just in the eyes. I just don't know if I can actually light only the eyes. Because I really like how the rim came through here, and if I had too much other light, it's going to get rid of that. I like having the rim giving the definition. Yeah, don't sit in that long. I mean, I mean, I've been guilty of it too myself, but I get stir crazy where I have to at least get up and do something. But I recommend like at least every hour, like you should get up and do something. And if you start getting burnt out to where you feel like you're things are dragging on, that's especially when you want to get up and move. But really, you can be super motivated to work on something or to do something, but if that's all you do, you will eventually run out on it. You have to force yourself to take breaks so that you keep that motivation. It's like you need because I'm saying you need breaks to both build motivation and prevent it from going away in a way. It's just too much of one thing, or lack of it is just you're not going to be good. Breaks are good. Breaks are real good. I like breaks. So there is no highlight on here. But it was a blue light that I'd used here, so I'm going to see if I can find a blue light. No. There we go. There. He's got his light now. Now I'm not sure if his eyes are considered eyes. I'm thinking not, which means that the normal method to light them will not work. Nope. The other option, if I can't do that, is just make them brighter. I just really want them to stand out a bit more. Oh, that's not him. It's his accessories. Facial accessories. Yes. Helm, gold, lenses. Yes, here we go. So his color is dim. Environment map tint. So it's making it purple. That makes sense. I'm gonna add maybe a little more blue. Well, that actually did quite a bit. It didn't really do that much. Add that, and then we'll brighten this up by a teeny bit. Barely did anything. I wonder if I do that, and then instead I raised up this. That's going to be the actual coloration. Is Fong, this is 1.1, 1.1. If I do 2, so that's just the edge right there. So that's not going to be really needed. I'm just putzing with values and seeing what happens here. So I already did the lens purple, but well, even just in general, that is brighter. But I think I'm going to take that ambient I'm going to make another one here. See, this is the problem too, is this mask is set to be essentially black, so I really can't add too much light to it anyway. Yeah, it's all gonna just hit his suit. Because I never actually made it a black texture, I just literally changed it to black, so the only things that would affect it were light. Oh yeah, I thought I was going to remove that star. So I don't think that was actually there. You know, I might just leave it on as forget. I don't care. think I might just leave it as it is. This guy is literally just standing still. Wonder if this actually should be pretty easy. So that was that direction. I'm gonna go to the other side. The same thing. So I'm just creating a kind of a rolling cloud look. So this all went. I forgot which way I went with that. I rotated a bit to the left, so I gotta go clockwise. No, now I gotta go counterclockwise because this is from the other direction. Hold on, I'm getting confused here. So it is rotating to the left. So yeah, I do want to go to the right. I'm pretty sure Maya actually is one of those that does have a student discount. Oh, that actually looks creepy. Look at that. Cloud back here. One of those. Right here, poofs. You don't even notice it. He's too much of a focus. But then that creates kind of a more violent background for him. Seems minor, but I'll take it. Okay. I thought there's one other thing I thought about back here. For one, I'm not sure if I want to like add something more to the hair there in terms of the coloration, because it just seems like it might be a little overly cartoonish. There's the difference between these two. The problem with free trials is that normally there's some kind of a limitation that's going to suck. So it could be that if you make something, you wouldn't be able to like save it in a certain way. Or I had one program that I had a trial, but at some random point it would essentially just stop working, and anything you're working on you couldn't even save until you had gotten that until you bought it, which just kind of felt like you were holding ransom. But there are some out there that allow you to utilize it as freely as long as it's for non-commercial uses. And technically, YouTube is non-commercial. So if you're thinking about if you want to put anything on YouTube, you could actually put ads on it because that's not considered commercial. You're not creating something and then selling it as a product, which would be like to make a movie, or that's actually like for people to pay to go see. People are watching the video and you're getting paid through ads, which is considered indirect. So. But yeah, I was gonna add some kind of flags here. That's what it was. Hello, Polycus. I don't think I want to use these flags though, because they aren't beat up enough. Well, actually, I think I have one that already worked. It's in this shop. Sweet jobs are nice. Well, maybe not the job itself, but the heavy money part. Oops. Make sure I didn't break that. Yeah. This actual map's not moving though, so I can lock it in place. You're still moving. There we go. Okay. There it is. Okay, so that's not very floppy looking. Yeah. Hey, actually, being in an art store is not a bad idea either. It can help build a connection, learn potentially how to use some stuff that you might not have known how to use before. It's any job you have, learn who the people are and what they can teach you. You'd be surprised. I think I'm going to keep the random motion, but I'm going to add... No, I can't add my own motion because I can't copy paste. Well, I can keep it, kind of. I want to see if this works. I don't think this is how I can rotate it. Not really. Oh yeah, it's going to do that no matter what, isn't it? Oh, whatever then. Spread out. Yeah. I'm just working a smaller bits of time, so it felt small. Even just that little bit of motion might be enough. I care about what the camera can see, so this one checking it from this position. Hello, Mon Creep. Mon Creep. This one's French for some reason. Not much over there in terms of size. Can't really hide this. I'll try and make it a smaller one. That does look like French. The Francis part kind of gave it away. Okay, I think something like that will work over here. It just can't be that big. Yeah, I think if I put too much fabric in there, it's just going to stand out. So I think I might just leave it at that, having mostly stone work. I think it's part of school. I don't think I could say I retain much more than 1% of some stuff, but sometimes it's more than the subject you learn is important. But it's knowing or hearing it and knowing certain things exist, so then you can know how to find them again. But also just the act of learning itself just helps open up the brain a little bit. So whatever it is, even if you didn't think you learned anything in school, you probably became a better person out of it. I'm So I think I'm going to consider this part 2 to be done. I'm going through it again just to be sure.
There's sadness raining down on me, and the future is.
Oh, that's what I gotta double check too. Did I correct timing? Can't remember if I did or not. Because like here, technically it's getting this timed correctly. I don't think I ever did. If I didn't, I'll probably do that quick. The main one to be timed correctly is this transition, but it's off by 2 frames. Because I can't, they're between shots, it's way harder to figure out how to fix that one. So, what do we have here? So that's, I need this shot to go 1, 2, 3, wait, no, maybe that over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 frames longer. Which could actually be tough. Let's see if it's worthwhile. I think everything's set to stop moving at that point. Yeah, not gonna bother. If there's anything that's off more than a couple frames, I'll fix it, but it's 3 frames. That's perfect. Couple of frames, who cares? It's on time. That's on time. That's just 1 frame off. Okay, I won't bother then. Do speed lines help this at all? Perhaps, but they don't fade in right, so they probably look weird. They work better from the side, or if they're constantly there. Yeah, I'll leave that. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna call this part done. Which means this part wasn't used. Oh, that was the old main. I'll leave it there. Do you actually, because of MLP, or because of My Little Pony, learn English? Because if you did, that is really cool. that would push you to do it. Okay, so is there anything with these shots? I wonder if I should have this transition quicker. So like right now, this transition is like going wham like that. It's not really going wham, I guess. It's just kind of going eh. What if I did it like that? If I remember, there was a yeah, she was out of focus here. I almost feel like I want to have her be more of a focus for this, because if I have it transfer faster, because right now it's like I'm still looking at the moon at this point. I'm not seeing Dash. Yeah, I think I like that more, being closer like that. Because she really stands out a lot more that way. And I can probably add a little bit more light to the top of her mane. So I want to make sure that, again, I don't lose continuity between these two shots. So I have to make sure that whatever I do to one... I did something wrong there. Oh, there we go. And... I think I hit the wrong button there. Yeah, I think I accidentally undid it. So that's how far it was before, right? No, that is close. Yeah, because of the tree. Oh wait, no. Just to make sure I'm not actually showing any ground. Nope, I think that is with the motion. Okay. But there's definitely some change in the motion here at the end, so I have to paste it, but only at the part where it's modified. Or is it the drastic motion in the other parts? I think that there was motion done here that was not correctly copied before. So I can see the differences. And then I could see it splitting off from there. So they're the same at about here. So if I remember right, I actually did check and they were not consistent between the two. Okay, so then I will take this camera, copy it, and go and paste it in this one. Does it dip like that here? Yep, because there was a transition error I was noticing. No, I had to do it a little differently. Her eye, if I tried to transition this a little earlier, I was trying to do it just before this for the fade, it didn't work because the two shots weren't lining up at that point. So as long as I did it afterwards, which I did, it should be fine. All right, so I want to add in an extra light to the top of her head in this shot. No, I don't want to have a bigger moon. It would be weird. If I shifted the moon down too much, like right now you can see that right here is when her head starts coming in. If I put it down, I don't want to have her head actually in the shot beforehand. I want to have the moon be the focus. So if I try to do that, because it's a big change in the camera's perspective, you can kind of see everything around her kind of shrinks down. I kind of wanted that big change in feel. Gmod 80 box. Say I'm going back here. Gmod 80 box was awesome. That actually was kind of got me to get into playing Gmod, but I wouldn't say not really an animation. I wasn't really doing anything with that until after that. And no, Clems, you speak well, good English. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's easily understandable, and that's fine with me. I'm not one for being a stickler on that. I'd rather have somebody being able to interact and have fun. So, I know it's probably easier to understand than it is to speak. So this looks like one that's her highlight. So I want to do the highlight or third. Maybe I know what this one. I've actually been having fun when I'm working on my own. I can put my secondary monitor, a second one on my other monitor and everything. See, when are they going to add in dual screen gaming streams so that you can stream both monitors? That would be nifty. Especially now that everybody has, like, or some people have, I guess, the 3 monitor setups and stuff. I consider getting a third monitor at some point, but I kind of stopped because I'm like, what the hell would I do with it? Oh, where is it in the screen? All right, this is where the light is, so I want to put it kind of where the moon is. It's going to give me the best angle. Lights are main and stuff right, but I don't really like how it's doing the ears. I might have to artificially move it. No, it doesn't make sense for her butt. That doesn't make sense at all either. So I think I'm just going to focus on the main and not care about the rest, which is probably going to be easier said than done. Because I think if I light the top of her head, this should really help pull her out. Yeah, but if I did two windows, it's going to be partially overlap and whatever. It's not going to maximize space usage or anything. I mean, you could say like I could put them on top of each other on one and have partial, but then it's like, but then I'm shrinking everything down for everybody else, and in doing so, the whole reason that I was like bothered originally to get like this the camera was it would be taking up screen space, because technically within the element viewer you can't see what's over here now, and normally a lot of the stuff I deal with is in the lower portion of it, so whatever. But I've thought about ways to try to get the chat onto the screen, but again, it'd be taking up real estate space, and for a game it might not matter so much because you already have a UI taking up spots, so what's in a little bit more maybe, but the whole point of a lot of this is to show people how to do things, and if I'm interrupting that potentially by putting something else on the screen, I don't want to do that. So I fought for like months to determine if I actually wanted to get a webcam or not, and I just said, when I asked people about it, they said sure, so that's why I did it. I always try to think of what's the best and easiest way to portray the information to people, and if something I'm doing gets in the way of that, I don't want to do it. So that's why I thought about finding a way to put the chat here. Oops, I'm gonna give it back. No, it's gonna give it back. No. And it didn't work. Like, there was a way to do the chroma key where I could have a chat like hover over the screen, but again, it's getting in the way of something. And I could modify the UI here to give myself a blank area that would allow that, but again, and really I guess I could probably make it work, because like a lot of times I don't need this to be as wide as it is. This could be smaller. The screen here is not neat. The detail isn't always needed. That means that if I wanted to, you could shrink this down to like something like that, and then from there it just comes down to making an empty window. I'm pretty sure you can make that partially worked. You can, I know that there's a way, I had to play around with it to make an empty slot. You could actually then put the chat in there, which would be nice because I could read it direct off the screen, but it's fine. I have no problem with being distracted. No, actually I prefer, because a lot of that stuff has to do with the interactivity between people, and so if I can get people's opinion on that, that's way better than me coming up with things on my own. So console's always going to be way too busy. Well, I guess it's not like I can't just well, actually I'd probably swap that. It's not like I can't make something like that work, put a small chat there, but there's a program I might get on Steam that simplifies a lot of the stuff for putting chats for Twitch, and that actually works directly with OBS. It's like $15, and it's cheap as hell, so probably not, but it's something to look at in the future. It's not something I'm worried about right now. Also, I move my UI around so much. It's like sometimes I need extra space down here, sometimes I need less. But I could actually get it so that SFM had its own built-in part where it could link to Twitch. That'd be great, because I would use the crap out of that. Anyways. Scope, do you just have that like on a copy paste when you come in? Kind of like that little extra light on the butt. Ah, okay. Yeah, but I think if I do that, as soon as she goes to turn, it's going to get rid of it, and it's just going to be awkward. So I'm just going to leave it. So I do like the light there, and I think how everything's positioned, it actually works all the way through. And at this point, the background's going to be changed, so the actual lighting doesn't really matter. I definitely think she stands out a lot more, though. Even at the beginning. This compared to that. Yeah, she's about 50% bigger. And she comes into focus a little earlier. There's no actual change to Rainbow Dash, so I am fine in that. So this is where the door opens, so that's when I do that. Alright, so that's going to be good. What do I got here now? This, I have to animate the wheat. Don't crash. This shots take up so much memory. This one's going to be some more work that I need to do right when at the time of render, because the I have to render the wheat, and I have to render the one part with a different map. Stop thinking. It usually fixes itself, just takes a minute. That next shot has a lot of stuff in it. I did rearrange that particle effect, so hopefully there's no particles in front of her face, but I really won't know until I render it. The actual preview is not the same. No, it's not that. It usually will come back. It just sometimes takes a minute or two, but it's quicker than redoing the work. It saves every 10 minutes. So most of what I've lost was really all I did in that entire bit was just adjust the camera, but the reason honestly it would have been that, and otherwise just place that light, and the light I can always redo. My impatience grows. message came up. There we go. Alright. See that? No, okay. Waiting for that, like, starts working right before I click the button kind of thing. Just go, if you, since you've read it a lot, because some of the book chapter or the books I've read like years ago, you have a lot more of those names like readily available in your head. I have this has been so long for some of them. It's like some of them I have to think about for the references. There's been so many people in so many places. Accent's cool. I like accent. Wallpaper idea for you? We're talking about the video I'm working on is based on a fanfic, so it's that's what we mean by books. Okay, so this didn't save right to the end because I did readjust this to the middle. So we'll see what's saved. It says highlight 2, so the light was created. So make sure that's the bigger dash. Because that's the biggest she gets there. Head above the mountain. Yep, okay, so that part's saved. So that's all I care about, really. And then where's the light saved? Yes. Is the radius up? Yes. So then that everything is fine. I just have to adjust it. Even this part doesn't matter that much. It's more for my own reference. Alright, I did go and shorten her mane a little bit here yesterday. But I want to have it blowing in the wind still, so I have to keep it a little bit long. But it's still short compared to most females. And this part's good. The only thing I'm not, I think, liking on him is that there's a lot of light in the face, but it's in contrast to this darkness. It's like, I feel like there should be more ambient light within the shots, but I'm thinking a lot of that would be, it's either, I'm gonna have to go with one or the other, and if anything, more smoke blowing maybe. Let's see here. I think that having more smoke blowing might actually help here. Monocolors in a final, they are now. Shell is okay. The Lex did nothing wrong, I can understand, but saying Shell was misunderstood. No, hell no. Shell was an asshole. One of these is low, one is high. Which one's high? This one's high. So I'm going to take the area and reduce it drastically. Okay. Random force. We're gonna slow part of it down a little bit. There's no way to actually like get it to slow down without me losing the direction. That'll be fine. Reduce the size a little bit. I'm gonna keep the height a little bit different though. How far is this going? Oh, not that far. All right. And emit, we're going to drop this down to 30. That's gonna be hard to figure out until render, but I just feel like that there was not enough wind in his face, I guess. Does that go all the way to the top of the camera? That's the other thing I need to make sure of. Nope. That's a little better. Okay, I'm going to call those done, other than I have to do the wheat, but that's going to be at the time of render. This I needed to do something with. Oh, there's no lights in her eyes. That's what it was. And there was a little bit of motion blur here. Let's see if... Oops. I thought I changed this. No, I didn't. Okay. So we're going to see having issues at 0.10. I'm going to try 0.011. And I know that I need to do it for this shot too, because this was last time rendered without, and it didn't give me a real judge of the quality. I feel like she still needs to start further away. You see, it didn't render the motion blur here, and that was with 0.12, but in other times it's rendered it when it's only 0.1. So I'm really confused on when motion blur crashes out and when it doesn't. No, it's not overriding. Confusing, unless I had a different value and I changed it to it then since then. But this is the only thing I'm going to be worried about, is trying to get some of these renders to render right. That's why I want to try to get it done early enough where I can start doing it in my downtime if I need. I still feel like she needs... Well, I'm going to start from this one. Left to right. What did you find? What did you post? Yes. That would be actually kind of funny. Alright, later, Doctor. You're an asshole. Oh yeah, I think I have a Sky card and a... Oh, the Sky Dome I'm not using anymore, that's why. Okay, I get rid of that. I do not have an eyelid for her at all. You guys... Oh, it's just that. Christmas's friend. Nice. Oh, I forgot max is 12. That's why. All right. Get this up there higher. Put this at 0.02. Let's see what that looks like. That's enough. Looks pretty good. Just drop the intensity a little bit. Do a rush order. do both the eyes at the same time because any motion of the eyes going up or down is going to be the same per. So if I can fix one, and you can do the same to fix both. Rainborg. Well, I probably should make sure that these all look fine at that time, which is right here. This is a cross seam, so I have to make sure that these all look fine all the way up through here. So this one is not really well positioned. I think I can back it up a little bit. That should be... Ooh, maybe too bright. You know what? No, it works. Especially since right now it's going to be only half visible, because I've already checked. He's usually barely visible. So now I can just figure this out. So this looks fine here. So at this point, that's way too far in. So we're going to do it from here to here. Move this in. And move this out. Okay, that should be better. This side doesn't even matter that much because you can't even see it till the very end here. Okay, no jury for life I'm okay with. Whoa. how many times have you ordered those? I've seen them quite often, that's what I'm saying it. Okay, I feel like she needs probably a little bit brighter light on her. The eyes help balance that out. So I need... Is this going to be it? Probably. Because the most important shot for her is probably right around here. I'm a little worried that the eye might be drifting, this one. Because you can see it. I think it's supposed to be right about here. And then it goes that way. And it can move a little bit. I mean, light in an eye would be expected to move. But... I think I still have mine. I think I have it on my giant ribbon. I know normally I don't try to put the ribbons on badges. Usually if there's like a panelist one or whatever, I put that on, but I'm not one for doing the military, what do you call it? Like where you have 100 ribbons on there. But I do keep all the ribbons, so I probably have mine still somewhere. Actually, where is my... I have a lunchbox of Discord that somebody gave me for free on a meetup, and inside I have buttons, I'm actually going to the lady that does, that does these best pony buttons. They're huge. I was gonna contact her and get a Dolphin as best pony one. I gotta look through these because I still have the anthologies. We had these really neat ones for Anthology 5, like the was pretty neat. But let me see here. Oh wait, I think I found. Nope, not that one. Yep, there we go. I found it. My badge collection. I've been to quite a few of them. Each one has a story, and that's what's cool about them. But I have some berry tube ones, some more buttons. I have well, here's my one when I went overboard. That's part of it. I had just another. No, I don't have you on that one. Scope on that one. I think I only have the one scope. Oh, I actually have 2 of those Anthology 5 things. But I usually keep all the stuff because when I go to I thought it was at Cider Festival in here. I don't know because I just get things thrown at me all the time. I usually bring the lanyard for a different con to like, so if I got a Brony count, I'll bring the one for like MLP, MSP, and whatever. But I've been kind of using the MLP, MSP one a lot lately because that one is a really cool color. Because it's the light blue, and I like that, and also because the convention is no longer happening. It's kind of a nostalgic thing. So. But that lunchbox is getting full. It's all lanyards and badges and stuff. I've thought about bringing all mine, like all my badges, just for fun. But I don't want to lose any because they, like I said, each one's kind of a story, and for the people you meet there and the things that you do, so I don't want to lose them ever. Okay, I'm not going to worry about his eye because you should look at how this shot's timed, how it fades. You can't actually see. He barely opens his eye in time, but that's a throw to the original because he actually just comes around at that point too. And I don't think I actually did the saturation transition at this point either. I didn't want to put all that work into it again. I'm kind of getting there. I don't think I'm going to make a transcript out of it, but... Alright, so I'm going to say... Oh, wait, actually, let me just check. Okay, I'm going to say that one's good. That's... Whether or not it renders fine. Who knows? Let's try this again. Okay, this part. Alright. So this is going to be... Oh, I shrunk her main a little bit on this one again, too. No, wait, no, I didn't do that on this one. But this one I don't know for sure because it's all based on it's all going to be based on how the render looks with the motion blur, but I don't know what that looks like yet. So I kind of want to get this to go by a little faster, so I'm actually going to see if I can take this camera and pull it out, and if that does anything. No, this just gets awkward because of all the other motion in there. I still feel like this is too close. But I don't think I can do anything about it. Well, and the motion blur is supposed to be also here what gets rid, because I don't have a high depth of field on here. So the motion blur was to be what made up for that, and would allow a lot of the clouds to stay sharper. If I don't have motion blur render correctly on this shot, it's going to create too clear of an image behind her. Because that's one of the issues I have with this right now, is everything in the background is perfectly clear. The depth of field isn't doing too much, and that's what I need to get rid of. She's already got the highlights in there, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to have to just play around with it. What was the value for the camera on this one? Okay, I did that. Let's see what happens. I'll try rendering it again. And like, this shot isn't exactly a super intensive shot. I could render that in like 20 minutes or something if I really need to. So I'm more worried about, like, if I start a render that's going to take like 5 hours and I have to redo a portion of it. I've had that for the conventions where I've had to redo something in the last minute, and I had to sit there the night before I left doing a 3-hour render. That kind of gets you into panic mode, so I don't want to do that. So that's why I'm rendering. I actually decided to do this in 1080, but that's still not that bad. So for the most part, this is going to be good. I'm just going to leave it as is. I really wish I could have more contrast in the background here. Actually, I might be able to. Sky Dome, is that what I'm still using? Yes. We are going to go to skin, okay, it's 13, which means it's 14 on here. Yeah, the very last one. So 111 is the same. So let's make it bluer. 0.9 is 0.9, 1.1. Okay. That added blue, but sky isn't blue. It's kind of got a little bit of teal to it, so we'll add a little green. Too much green. I think that helped. Because then when it comes to here, the sky's actually blue. Should we just keep it blue? See, that like doesn't look as good to me. I'd actually like it more with the green. Hello, Kelchan. Go for nostril. We can do that. We can... Look like we're slamming into her head. Like, no, nostril. It literally in her nose. Okay, so we'll keep that. I'm worried that this shot with the motion blur might be too much. Especially since this is the section right here that's going to be from here to here that's going to be perfectly visible. And that's not that blurred, so I think it might be fine. If it's only blurring right towards the end, that should be okay. But again, sometimes the blur just looks that way when it's stopped, but as soon as you go to move it. This shot, I don't think there's anything I can do. Oh yeah, I was potentially going to back the camera away more. I don't think I ever did that. Oh, actually, I had an opinion question I needed. Once I get past these next shots, there is something I had for an idea in that last one when I was going through it last night. See, I think that might be too much. I mean, I could just change perspective more instead. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna keep it as is. I like that shot. I don't need to match it with the next one. What's this got lane? I'm just gonna leave her as is. The only thing I can think of is that she doesn't have a cutie mark, which does beg the question of, does White Mane have a cutie mark? Because technically Celestia and Luna do, and I don't think she's some weird like hybrid thing that doesn't get a cutie mark. So what if, should she be given a cutie mark? In the previous shot that I have her in, this one, her wings hiding her butt, so it really doesn't matter. I can kind of get away with the lack of a cutie mark, but otherwise there is none. So, and I've already checked, there's nothing in the book that talks about her having a cutie mark. She's a leader, but that's, I can't think of her having any cutie mark though. I've just left her blank flank, really. If I was... Yeah, I was thinking about it. But even then, it's like, I would think that, in essence, if it's not described in the book, you're just kind of coming up with it. I don't know if it ever would have been something that would have been considered. I won't worry about it right now, because I'm planning on rendering scene 2 next anyway, and that's going to be, well, I can do 2 renders a night. I'm going to do scene 2 as the main render, but I need to do another test render. But otherwise, in terms of like the positioning and stuff, that's fine. I'm just going to leave it as is for now. I'm pretty happy with this shot too. I don't think there's anything I can really do. One thing I could only think about doing differently on that shot is to have the camera spin more, because I kind of like that effect. I wonder if I should have him, if the camera, or have the camera move further to the right. Because right now it leaves him right here, which works, but he fades well before then. So I'm gonna see if I can. Actually, this whole camera moves, so I'm just gonna move it further this way. See what that does. You know what? No. Gonna leave it as is. I'm those ones, it's like I don't want to change it if it's not broken. Alright, anyways, in terms of opinion, so in this shot this is the normal shot, and I'd consider doing this for the camera, because it originally just kept backing up like this. But it so it kept acting as the focus, but technically during the actual video, it does this this, but stop it. It does that little zoom into the face afterwards, and in terms of pacing, it's kind of like, I would say, a cap on after all the fade shots, and so like here, I think that it needs that, but I don't know how to go about it, because I can't zoom in on Rainbow's face because of this shot. It would make it weird to go from Rainbow's face to Rainbow's face. So I thought, well, I can't show her face, but what if I tried going about it where I'm not showing her face? So like this. So then it would have her in focus here and have it zoomed in on Accent instead. I thought that could potentially work instead. I'd have to play around with a little bit of the highlights in the background to have Accent pulled out more and have that rim on it. I'm just not sure whether or not that would make the difference or not. Here, let me go with the I'll adjust these to where it would be for a pretend render. Since it's about the midpoint that the one previously disappears, that would be pretty close. But that one's always intense. I think it works. But I needed Accent's already the focus at the beginning here. And so I didn't want to have, and even here I'd have to have the camera adjust because Accent's not in focus long enough. I didn't want to have the dragon being focused twice. I wanted to change the focus. So I'm not zooming in on the dragon, I'm technically zooming in on Rainbow. I miss him so much. He was one of my favorite characters. Shimmer Glimmer. If anything, I probably have the actual camera itself before zooming in on her. Okay, so the red is where it changes to that. No, I don't want to have rotation, like, maybe up, but like I don't want to like tilt it. But I do have to try to get the dragon more focus here. How long is okay, so this is the blur range. So that's where it's fully in focus, it's right there. No, that's the transition range. I had that wrong. So this section right here is what I want to have extended. I have a rumble effect added though, which is what makes this a little tougher. I can just re-add it again though. So I'm going to try stretching it this way. It would take a lot of manipulation to make that work. Because I would have to have Accent actually move quicker. Hello. Oh, that guy, that's Steel Teeth, but that was the closest I could get to representing him. And so I didn't really do him with much more other than that. I wonder, because I did kind of go low here, I might be able to make this work different. Because the main thing is Axon's eyes here disappear, and that's the main focus. So I'm thinking what I can do instead. I'm going to take the camera. So it's from here, so then I would say to here. I got stuck with a little bit of the shaky. But that could work. Maybe not quite like that, but if I move it more like that. Nope, because that's not gonna work for getting it to show her eyes. I'll just focus right now on just the eye portion. And the thing is that the dip is, I think, what sells it. So I want to keep the dip. Yeah, I looked up all the information I could on him, but there wasn't, for Steel Teeth, there wasn't a lot there in terms of the info regarding his hat, which had to cover the majority of his head. The jaw, I had to take a second model of somebody, and like he's actually really creepy looking if you hide the right model. Oh. The world's worst underbite. Hard. Hard. He's like a little turtle. Yup. Oh, it looks okay like that. Turtle. Oh, it's so oh wow. I have used like the mouth in situations like that before, though, stretching it to some weird angle, because this angle would look okay, from that it looks horrible. But yeah, it was the only way to get the jaw to work that way, because to make it so shiny like metal. I tried adding gears and whatever, it didn't work. I don't know if that's any better. The head is just shrunk up. The entire head itself was shrunk down a little bit, but the jaw stayed the same size. That's what it looks like an overbite. It locks too now. So. It's the only thing I could get to work. Grandpa steel dentures, something like that. So I think I might actually have to test render this to see if it works. I think that's the other thing I wanted to check here. Would it require potentially... For one, I haven't actually touched the original camera yet, have I? Make sure I didn't accidentally have that grab that one. Would it be... Can I potentially... I have to be careful because I can't go straight up freehorn. Can I get closer? Nah, I think that's not gonna work as well. It's getting too close to her, and I'm gonna lose accent. But if I'm gonna do that, that light in the back needs to be brought up. Actually, that light should be brought up in general because you can barely see the outline of Axon's wings. It's like, those are technically her wings back there, but I don't know if there's not even enough detail to show them. I kind of like doing that. Bye-bye. You see, like, these wing, like, NPC4 and 1 left and right, they're so different of positions. I couldn't get them to be exact, so I just had to manage. This movie, something's not moving right. There it is. That's what I was going. There we go. I mean, the point of these is to help out, so if you're getting something from it, that's great. Sometimes I can show things based on, you know, what I think would be good to know, but it doesn't mean that there's going to be things that are good to know that I don't even think about. So that's why just working on these, I think, helps out too. So. These wings are bent at awkward angles, and I'm just like, don't care.
We all stand in line, and all we'll do is time. Whatever we came for was never there. When ashes turn to dust, we must do what we must. Everyone needs all that you can spare.
We're back. Okay, bye-bye. See, I just don't know if that... I mean, I could do a partial of that. Not the wings, though. Wings will stay. I could have that and then spread over this entire bit. Her motion though will require me to reposition some of the lights a little bit though. Kind of add some to her wings. Probably some in the background too, just to get some of that detail. Well, you know what? I may be not even going to care about that. There is too many rocks behind this wing though. You're not able to see any of the wings outline here. No, it's not that. It's the fact that the volumetric light on the right side is lower. It should be about that low, and then therefore going further. You know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna delete this. Well, F1's doing things fine, so we'll just use that one. There is a rock in the way. Some glare on my screen there. I want to make sure I'm not seeing something else. If anything, the wings opening up there, it really make this expand. Because it feels right now that there's like a wall there. Sure, let's hold on, the legs are still locked, so then they're not showing, right? There we go. I'm gonna try to get a snarl or something, but it's really hard with this mouth. I'm wondering if I pull the jaw back. I think I might have tried that before, though. Because I already yanked it up to try to get some kind of snarl. Let me see here. Where the upper lip... being the mouth open though doesn't really look as good as you think. It looks like this, and to me, when the mouth is open, it makes it look more like a creature, but she's not. So she's pretty smart. Anything, I was thinking about taking these upper lips and delaying when they go and do their thing. So you can actually see the lips go up there. And I wonder if I can, when this happens, wrong keys. Might have it go open a little bit here, but I want to be careful because those teeth are bright. It's I had to do a super drastic motion here because it was the only way for that to be visible on the outside. Actually, if there's bones, I should be able to drag them out too, can't I? Because the thing outside the box thing sometimes is hard because it's like you think that lip only up and down, but technically I can drag it side to side too. I don't think I have controller for nose. It's not in that way. Yeah, I have the lip control, but I don't actually have any nose kind of control. Like time is. It's the rainbow. Come to dragon. Ride the bridge to mouth. Save exit time. Exit diode. Rainbow's like, oh, okay. And she's like, no. No. She's not even in the mouth, whatever. No. And chomp. Let me get Rainbow back to where she belongs, and then I want to see what the hell that is. Actually, I wonder. I technically could increase or put scalars on the lips as well. Or if I increase their size. That doesn't work, but no, it's not gonna work. Not the way I wanted to, anyway. Alright, so if I do decide that the camera sucks, have I changed too much of accent to make that work? No, shoot, just need a little bit of extra motion. But technically I can just do that right now. So I want to grab just wings. I do not want accent 2. Might have to render that and see what it comes out to be. I can do it as a final and then just replace the part of the file afterwards to see what it looks like. Oh, I gotta add wing lights and stuff, but I'll do it later. No, the wings are... Well, the wings are pulled in a bit. They're not... They're like towards her back. They technically should be out farther, but I had to bend them like that because to fit within the frame but still feel like a full wing instead of just a like rectangle. They had to be pulled back like that. I mean, she's kind of weirdly positioned in general. And technically, these dragons don't have 4 legs. They only have 2. So the wings were... And the wings are normally up where the arms would be closer to. So to make that actually work then to have 4 legs, I just took another dragon's legs, put them towards the front of the body, and and then just push the wings towards the back further. So I've done it once before for a model, so that's why I was like, yeah, let's do that again. So yeah, it's kind of interesting spin. But I only care about it looking good from here. But I am going to be done for now. I'm not streaming tomorrow, and probably not Thursday, but I will be streaming on Friday again. Next week, I don't know what I'm going to stream yet. If it's a lot of like super final stuff like editing, probably not. But if there's actually work to do, probably. But I hope not, because I leave Thursday. So there will not. There's a stream this Friday, maybe Thursday, but otherwise next week there is no stream Friday. I will be not here. I will be at BronyCon. So, yay! If only they will put out the schedule. So anyways, that will be it for me. I will put out something hopefully Thursday morning or Wednesday sometime regarding whether or not I'll do Thursday. So okay. Anyways, bye bye. See you later. Have a good couple days, I guess. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, have a kitty. Meow meow meow. And out of the way.